Alright, I I hope that this time I actually fixed the audio and that everyone can hear me too. Uh, Hold on a second. Alright, the stream should be fine. You should be able to see and hear me. I hope so. This is like the 10th time I try to get the audio right. In any case, it's been a long time since I streamed or put out some content, and I thought I would come back with a little tier list as I enjoy making these. Initially, I wanted to make a tier list about the top characters from Helltaker, which is it's a game I played on the channel previously. But as I was setting up the stream, I actually discovered that I don't really remember most of them, and as such, we shall instead do this X-Men uh, tier list stream. Most of the movies, from what I can tell, are on this list. Uh, the only one, uh, the only one missing. Hold on a second. Um, Anyways, doesn't matter. The only one missing, I think, it's what's it called? New Mutants. Um, the new one. But I specifically added this not watched yet um, tier ranking, whatever you want to call it, because I haven't seen all of these, just most of these. So just to start off, I'm gonna put X-Men Dark Phoenix. I don't even know what this one's called. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen it. And I think this is the only one. I'm checking again. Yep, I've seen all of these except for Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix Take Two because they tried to do this story again previously. Uh, and I also haven't seen New Mutants, but New Mutants isn't even on this on this tier list, so we don't have to worry about that. So it's gonna be a super short stream. It was gonna be longer with the Helltaker part, but whatever. Maybe next time. So I'm gonna do them in order, I think. Wait, where's X-Men Free? Oh, there it is. Uh, so right off the start, I'm gonna try to talk a little bit about them too. This list will be mostly subjective. I may touch upon the objective ranking a little bit, but it's mostly a subjective ranking. Uh, I'm just gonna go by how much I like the movie, and I'm gonna try to be as fair as possible. So, starting off with X-Men 1. X-Men 1 is a really good movie, and I also think it's not really dated. It's it, it's pretty good. You can still watch it today, and it's a little bit cheesy, a little bit corny at times, you might say, but I still think it's a pretty decent movie. And for the most part, the casting of this movie is really amazing, and the performances, I would say. And I have really fond memories of this. And like I said, this is a subjective ranking. Objectively, it's probably a B tier movie, but subjectively, I really think it's, or is it? Is it? No, it's not A. I don't know how much I like it. I'm confused now that I think about it. I think. Hold on. I'm looking at the other movies. No, it can be A tier. Sure, why not? Um, I think it can be A tier. I looked at the list again real quick because there's not gonna be a lot of S tier movies, so therefore I think it's fine to rank X-Men A because it's a pretty relative list. I mean, if I rank, what are there? Mm, nope, it's definitely A tier. X-Men 1, it's still A tier. I think it holds up. Maybe objectively speaking, it would be B tier, but I'm leaving. This is a subjective list, and so I'm leaving it in A tier. Next up, we have X2, X-Men United, the sequel. This one was really good, and many people said it's an improvement over the original. It's probably X-Men at their peak. I do have. I've seen this movie a lot of times, and it's got a lot of great scenes. I do have a little bit of a nitpick. I always remember this at the beginning of this movie, after the Nightcrawler scene, not the actual beginning of the movie. But when Logan comes back from Canada, whatever he was doing, searching for his past, there's a little bit of extra cheesy dialogue between him and Storm, and they're just it feels a little bit like a soap opera. Everyone's kind of talking to each other using their code names, how MCU Spider-Man would say their made-up names. But other than that, it's really a good movie, and I think it's probably this movie X2 X-Men United. It did a lot of good for the superhero genre, I would say, and for that reason, I will rank it S. And I'm looking at the list again, and there's not gonna be a lot of S, are there? Nah, there won't be a lot of S tier movies. I was worried for a second there may be too much, but no, there aren't. Um, what else can I say? X Men 1 and X Men 2 are really the classics. I would say they're definitely essential if you want to get into superhero movie, and you should definitely give it a watch if you haven't. Even if they're kind of old movies, I guess you could say. But they may be old, but they're definitely not bad, and they've aged quite gracefully, I would say. Um, Next up, I'm not going in the order the list provides. I'm actually going to be ranking X Free. X Men Free. I don't remember if it had a title. It's the third one, and a lot of people probably hate this. I've seen it. I'm preempting. I'm leaving it in not watched for now, but I have seen it. Oh boy, this movie. Obviously it's not even B tier. The question is it C or D tier? And compared to the other X-Men movies, it's I'm probably gonna put it in D tier. This is probably the worst one. It's a pity, honestly, because it had a lot of potential. I don't even know the best part about this movie. It's also kind of the funny part, and it's a little bit messed up. I'm not gonna. Fine, I'm gonna say it anyway. It's kind of funny how Magneto basically starts a mutant version of the Third Reich. It's just something. A lot of people pointed this out. He's a little bit kind of Hitlerish, you know, when he's gathering up his forces of evil mutants. Uh, that's it's just a hilarious movie. It's definitely one of those movies that it's so bad it's good in a way. Um, it's also a little bit inconsistent, and it's the beginning of the downfall, I would say, as far as continuity goes in these movies. Uh, Stuff gets retconned by the end of this movie, and I'm not gonna get into specifics, but um, suffice it to say, it's a D tier movie, and you'll actually be shocked by. There is someone else. Okay, it's time to talk about X Men Origins Wolverine, because this is the other black sheep in the X Men family, and what a coincidence! This came out. I think it's exactly the next movie after X Men 3, and there's there is also a lot to unpack about this movie as well. There is a whole lot to unpack about X-Men Origins Wolverine. The infamous adaptation of Deadpool, and also Wolverine's origin and Sabretooth's origin. Basically, the movie has origin in the title, but almost everybody's origin is completely wrong and horribly portrayed. Um, However, this will be a controversial move, but it's a subjective list. I like it more than X-Men Free because, and this might be my bias, but I've seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot of times. For some reason, it's on TV very often, and I don't think. I mean, it's definitely bad, but if we're comparing it to X-Men Free, X-Men Origins, I feel like it's so bad, it's good, and X-Men Free is so bad, it's good, but it's also boring. X-Men Origins, to me at least, it's 100% just hilarity. And I would also like to point out there is a scene in this movie where Wolverine is kind of fumbling around the bathroom. He's, he just got his adamantium claws and he's fumbling around in the bathroom. He's kind of wrecking stuff. And that scene, funny enough, that scene seems to have been kind of, I don't know, appropriated in The Amazing Spider-Man. There's a scene where Peter gains his power, and that scene always reminded me of X-Men Origins Wolverine. So, yeah, this is not by far the last Wolverine movie, and as you can see, there's many more on the list, at least two. Moving on, we have X-Men First Class, and I'm looking at the sequel, or I guess I should say the new trilogy. It's not really a sequel because some of it takes takes place in the past, but I would say X-Men First Class. I'm looking at it and I'm remembering a lot of it, and I would say, this is my subjective list. I can do whatever I want, and therefore I'm ranking it S tier. And X-Men Days of Future Past, a lot of people said X-Men First Class, it's a good movie. A lot of people praise it. It did a lot of things right. And then X-Men Days of Future Past came out, and people said, "Wow, this is even better." But actually, I think it's a little bit of a switcheroo, because you know, the first one is actually S tier, and the second one, like in the original, X-Men One was kind of, and X-Men Two was the improved version. But in the case of the new trilogy, it's not sequel or prequel because it takes place all over. Actually, I think it is just prequel. It is just a prequel trilogy because the only one that takes place in the past, kind of, half of it takes place in the future. It's X-Men Days of Future Past. It takes half of it is kind of in the future. So this is the only kind of sequel element to it. Um, X-Men First Class, I liked it a lot. It's kind of edgy, a little bit, and I have a bit of a soft spot for that kind of stuff. And needless to say, I like X-Men First Class a lot. I like it more than Days of Future Past. Objectively speaking, people might say that Days of Future Past is better, but I would disagree. I also think because X-Men First Class was a little bit of a soft reboot, it doesn't have to listen to a lot of the continuity that was already horribly butchered by the time we got to X-Men 3. And so X-Men Days of Future Past does have to deal with that continuity a little bit, and it's just a jumbled mess. And for that reason, yeah, this is that I'm sticking to this ranking. After X-Men Days of Future Past, actually no, before X-Men Days of Future Past, there was another movie that I forgot, and so far we've been kind of at the extremes. We've ranked movies like X-Men, X-Men Days of Future Past. They're good, great movies, and then the bottom movies that are like they're so bad it's good or they're kind of boring. And for now, I'm gonna rank Logan as a B tier movie. It was good. I liked some of it. It had some stupid stuff, but you know, in my eyes, this is the it's kind of a Wolverine movie. It's kind of unfair now that I think about it to have Wolverine movies in the X-Men, but then again, he is kind of the face of the franchise at this point. Uh, Funny enough, the only time he's not, it's in X-Men First Class, so food for thought. In any case, uh, the Wolverine. It's called uh, X-Men. It's not X-Men Origins Wolverine 2. It's just the Wolverine, but it is a sequel in a way. It was fun, but mm, it wasn't that good. It had some. One of the weakest parts of this movie were definitely the villains. The villain in the Wolverine is it's nothing. It's it's a guy. It's an old guy wants to be young again, and there are some minor antagonists along the way, but they're pretty forgettable too. Snake Lady, I even forgot her supervillain name, and there's also the aspect of Wolverine in learning about the Japanese culture and having ties to it, because I guess he fought in World War II, and those elements aren't explored enough. Um, there are some cool action scenes in this too. So yeah, in the end it's a good movie. It's B. This is the definition of a good movie. This is kind of like the the middle. It's not really good. It's not really perfect, but it's not bad. Moving on, we have Deadpool. We're gonna talk about Deadpool. I actually have been a huge Deadpool fan for as long as I've known myself. Um, that's a weird sentence. Moving on. I was super hyped for the movie, and I think it was great. But looking back on it, it wasn't really that perfect. So I'm gonna leave it in A tier for now. Actually, hold on. New rule. I'm establishing a new rule. So this list goes from bottom to top as it gets better, but also Deadpool is better than X-Men 1, I would say. And X-Men 1 is better than this official. So this is the ranking. And but yeah, it's alright. X-Men 2 is still. Is it better than First Class? You know what? There we go. It also goes from right to left. So from right to left, the quality increases. It gets better. And now we're left with the last movies we got. I'm gonna talk about X-Men Apocalypse now. By the way, I'm just blazing through these. I'm not even spending that much time elaborating or talking too much about it. I had more planned, but oh well. Maybe next time. Maybe I will do an in-depth review of some of these movies at least. I would certainly like to talk about Deadpool 2 and Deadpool at some point in the future. But for now, I'm just gonna be brief and gonna keep going. X-Men Apocalypse. Um, I've actually seen this movie in theater. I've seen Deadpool in theater, X-Men Apocalypse in theater. I think I saw Deadpool 2 in theater. Yeah, I did. And I've seen Logan in theater too. Which one haven't I seen in theater? I guess the rest of them. Yeah, those are the only ones. X-Men Apocalypse had some really good visuals. I remember that. The CGI maybe it wasn't always great, but I still had a lot of fun. But the plot made no sense and the characters were kinda ridiculous. Yeah, it's one of those movies. I think if you can't take X-Men Apocalypse seriously, at least you can laugh at it. Kind of like X-Men Origins Wolverine. So it's a C tier movie because it's so bad it's good. Next up we have Logan. Now this one is tough, man. This one is tough. I don't know how to rank this one. This one is definitely S tier, but is it better than X2? And is it better than First Class? Whoops. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Um, it might be. Hold on, I'm trying to real quick think through the movie, think of the scenes. There weren't really a lot of plot holes in Logan. So I mean, there's not a lot of contrast. The plot is very simple. It's a little bit of a stylish movie. It's also R-rated, and it's the best Wolverine movie by far. Huge improvement over the Wolverine. But is it better than First Class though? I don't know. I didn't like X-24, and again the villain was kind of weak. But at the same time, this isn't a movie. Logan isn't a movie that's about. It's very unconventional. Well, it's at least somewhat unconventional of a superhero movie, and so it doesn't really deal with villains and stuff. I don't know what to say. Consider them equal. End of story. So yeah. And finally, we have Deadpool 2. What an average disappointment. I would say it was even worse than the Wolverine. And sure, it's not bad. I'm not putting it in the so bad it's good category, but I was disappointed by Deadpool 2. I expected something at least as good as the first one, and what I got was I wanted another A tier movie basically, and instead I got a B tier movie. It was good, but it wasn't that like. Hold on a second. I'm gonna adjust this here. So what does this mean? B is good slash average. That doesn't fit too well. Hold on a second. Good or average, basically. A means great. S tier is for godlike. Alright, godlike is a bit much. They're not really godlike. They're just awesome. And I would like to watch them again sometime. Awesome. Why is it like this? Well, anyways, C, it's the tier for so bad it's good, aka the lol cow tier. I actually like the sound of that. There you go, lol cow tier. I made that shit. And this one is just, it's kind of bad and boring, which is never a good combination. And I haven't watched those. So yeah, I think I'm pretty good with this ranking. Deadpool 2 was really a huge disappointment. You start off with such a great movie, and then you get like a good or average sequel. And now that Fox is owned by Disney, we're probably never gonna reach the same heights ever again. Yeah, I think I can agree to this ranking. And yeah, there's not really anything else to add. What do I think about? Okay, I haven't seen. No, I'm not gonna rank X. I was gonna try to predict how it's gonna be. I think I actually am pretty hopeful. I think X-Men Dark Phoenix. I've seen a little bit of a review, and I've definitely seen the trailers, and I saw some scenes of it online. And I'll say this much: some people might say that this movie is so bad that it doesn't have to really be that boring. It's just bad. It's a waste of time. It's D tier, but I actually think it's C tier, just for the sole reason that they killed off Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique. I know that happens, and I'm looking forward to seeing that movie soon. And as for the other one I haven't watched, New Mutants, I honestly kind of don't care about that one, so I refuse to acknowledge its existence. So yeah, these are the X-Men movies, all of them ranked in a very short stream. I don't even know, it's barely 20 minutes, it's not even gonna be half an hour stream. Uh, I was gonna do more, but I totally forgot the characters from Helltaker, the game. And so this is all I got for now. um, I'm gonna try to I'm not gonna actually go back to Helltaker. I'm gonna have some new gaming streams coming up, and then I'll have some edited videos, a little bit of meme videos, and I hope you're looking forward to that. And feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy my kind of content. I don't upload too much, and I don't upload too often, but I like to think that when I do, it's pretty cool stuff. So I will see you in the next stream, and then the next videos. Probably, most likely, most definitely in that